Breaker 19, you got your ears on? This here's the Eastbound and Down podcast show, coming to you live coast to coast. We're talking Smokey and the Bandit, Trans Ams, and all things of keeping the memories alive. So grab yourself a cold one, settle in, and let's put the hammer down, right here on Breaker 19, the Eastbound and Down podcast. I'm eastbound, just watch old Bandit run.
And here we are, folks. Good evening to you. Welcome to the show. You're tuned in to the only place where the stories come quicker than a CB call, and the laughs, well, they run longer than a cross-country haul. And the host, that's me. I'm Sean Bailey. I'm hanging on tighter than a set of bald tires on the blacktop. Grab a seat and something cold to sip on, because this ride is about to begin.
This car 4, we're the black Trans Am. It's the Bandit.
Tonight we have a special guest who knows a thing or two about life in the fast lane. She's part of the legendary Smokey and the Bandit family, playing Wynette Snow. You've spotted her in Smokey and the Bandit, Cannonball Run, and Hooper, and she's been right there alongside the stars, the big stunts, and the big laughs that has made Hollywood history. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Linda McClure.
My goodness. That was
there you are.
That was a neat intro. That was pretty
Well,
cool.
there you are. I mean, it's great to have you on the Breaker 19 podcast tonight.
Oh, well, thank you. It's good to be
We
here.
are so excited to ask you some fabulous questions tonight.
Actually, you're not the only one. So there. Well, I'm excited too.
You're out in sunny California. That was a little cool this morning, I understand.
Well, we're starting to maybe see a touch of fall.
Yeah.
We need it. We love it. And it kind of jolted me because I wasn't quite expecting it. But I'm loving it. No negatives here.
So would this be an early fall this year? Would it be an early fall this year?
I don't know. I don't think so. Probably pretty normal for Southern California.
It's about that time for the change.
Who knows? Who knows down here? We'll probably have a hot spell coming up. A year ago this time it was really hot. So October can be a surprise.
I understand. We had mid-80s, almost 90 degrees again here in Branson, Missouri today. So it's one of those things that we're probably about 20 degrees warmer than what we normally are. So
you know what I think, Sean? We love what we get, and we get what we love.
That's right. That's right. And we'll just keep taking it, right?
And there you go.
In Smokey and the Bandit, you played Wynette Snow. Do you remember the casting process for this? And maybe what was the first day on set like?
Let me tell you, the casting process is one of the most delightful stories of my life. I had a wonderful friendship with Hal Needham, the director, the creator, the writer of the movie. Not the writer of the script, but he created the story. And I have no idea, a year before, maybe less than a year before, he mentioned to me that he had this wonderful script, this wonderful idea for a movie, and he told me all about it. And of course, the follow-up to that would be, you don't just make a movie. You get an idea, and it doesn't just happen. And one thing he explained to me later, not too much later after that, was that he was trying to sell it on his own. In other words, he had never directed a movie before, but he was really well known in the industry, being the top stunt man that had ever been in the business, and to this date, the best. So the story is that it was frustrating. I mean, he could go to any producer or anybody he knew, and they knew him. But how do you sell a movie? How do you sell a movie? You
Right.
don't just have a wonderful idea. You got to have things. So he
Right.
thought that he would be a winner, or the movie would be a winner, if he had everything organized, everything planned to the penny, the shooting schedule, the money that would be needed. And he was calling friends galore to be on the crew, different people he had worked with, his favorites, and people were ready to jump in, absolutely right there, and be supportive of him. And his best friend and his roommate, they shared a house together, was Burt Reynolds. And he had doubled Burt on a lot of films. That's how they became acquainted initially. So, of course, I questioned that. I said, well, what about Burt? And he said, he's just sitting in the background. He's got other things on the fire, and, I'm doing this on my own. Okay, some time goes by. And one day I read in the trades on the front page, Smokey and the Bandit is in pre-production. And I knew what that meant. I didn't know specifically what that meant, but I knew that meant it's happening.
Right.
So I called his office, and he wasn't in, and I congratulated whomever I spoke to, probably the secretary. The movie is a go. And she said, let me leave a message for Hal that you called. So I get a call back to please come over to Universal. Hal wanted me to get on the lot. I had a pass to come in and into his office. He had an office at Universal. Whoa. His office was usually the Stunts Unlimited office. That's the stunt organization that he created.
Right.
And so I did. I went over there and went into his office, a trailer, middle of the lot, not too far from the front gate. And there in that room were his number one favorite makeup artist, his stepson, and a producer whom I didn't know, but I met that day, named Hank. What was his name? Oh, well, I can't think of it a moment. It comes to me. He was one of the producers on Smokey. And he said, I've got a little thing for you here. And he handed me the script, and he said, look at this scene. And I looked at it and I said, that's a good scene. And he said, look at the character Wynette. And I did. And then I proceeded to hand the script back to him. And he said, no, it's yours. You get to play this part. That's how the casting happened. There wasn't a casting director in the room. He didn't have me come in to read. I just read the scene silently to myself. I didn't even read it out loud.
That is
and
amazing.
Come ahead to, that was in, I would say that was maybe July, August. So the movie was in pre-production, and he told me it was, and he's gotten everybody. And it's because Burt couldn't stand it. He wanted so much to help Hal, and he wanted so much to be in the movie, that he said, Hal, I'm with you. And that did it. All he had to do was call whomever he called, and let's go. And that's the story of how Smokey got started.
Okay.
So that's been a great share about Burt finally saying, yeah, I'm on board. I can't stand this.
Right. So
Yeah.
Burt joins in and takes the lead role, and which my understanding that it was originally written with Jerry in mind, Jerry Reed.
I don't know that, Sean. That's
Okay.
new to me. I thought it was all,
Okay.
well, I don't know. I can't answer you that I knew anything for sure one way or the other.
Right. Wow.
Good
Yeah,
story.
that was kind of like the rumor mill that we hear was always that it was kind of written. Bert had read it while Hal was staying with him,
Right.
and then moved forward. And Bert said, "If you need help getting the funding, I will step in for the part," because he was running into some roadblocks. But you know how the legend and stories go. So
Well, that's pretty close to mine. What I remember hearing
yeah,
was
that
when
is
Bert said, I'm on board, then everything became a go very, very quickly.
so you were a California resident at the time.
Oh, always been a California resident.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
from here.
the the southern twang for the character.
I don't know
That
how. I think I just listened to a few people once I landed at the airport. I don't remember calling an acting teacher, and I didn't call any friends. I had and still have a best girlfriend who's from Georgia, and I probably talked to her about it. But I knew it would just come naturally. I don't know how I knew,
right.
but how can remember 49 years ago? I, but I got to the set, or I got to the hotel, and enough people around with the twang, and I just fell right into it.
Right. It's easy to do.
That's good. Yeah,
Do you-
and I love it. It's such a fun to an outsider. It's really fun.
oh
That
yeah,
that twang.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
It's something that you pick up on every time you watch the movie. It's there, and it's just
Uh
it
huh.
feels like you were actually in Georgia, as in born and raised, and
Like
you had
I was part of the show. Okay,
yeah,
part of the
yeah,
family. That's great.
absolutely.
Well, I certainly didn't have to get any coaching from Hal or anybody. I remember very clearly how Hal suggested that Bert and I practice our lines or go in and talk about it while they were doing setup. And we just certainly didn't have to talk about the accent. I don't even remember what we specifically talked about. We might have just read lines together.
Right,
So I knew generally what was going to happen. And then, of course, before we shot, we rehearsed with the kids, and never ever anything said about the accent. It was
right.
always there.
It was
That's
there.
funny because it sure isn't now.
Well, do
But I
you
was talking to
recall
Bo on the
any?
phone. Bo on the phone. He just fell right into it, and I said, "Okay, if I need some coaching or want to," I said, "I know who to go to." And usually, when I speak to him, he's no accent is there to speak
Right,
of,
right.
but he can
Bo
he can
can
speak
throw
English.
in a little bit of accent when needed. So
And just to, if people don't know, he's very much involved in this project of yours of
he is.
the Trans Am takeover.
Yeah,
He's
Trans
gonna
Am Takeover is coming up, and we've seen the promo at the start of the program. Trans Am Takeover is coming up in Jonesboro, Georgia, on the 17th, and continues all the way through the 19th.
Sean.
And
That's next week.
it is, and I've got an understanding that it's going to be a basically a Snow family reunion, if you will.
I know, I know. I think that's fun and funny. It's because so many people, well, almost everybody from the cast is gone now.
Right,
And so when you guys got me on board to come and be your guest, that sort of became the focus of the story.
right.
Here's Grandma Snow, great Grandma Snow. You know, I was in my 20s, and now it's kind of beyond that. And when I'm back in town, or we're all getting together, and so I'm going to be seeing the kids all grown up and their
Yeah,
kids.
see the
I
kids
think
and
that's
their
just a
kids,
gift.
and I understand that Kay is now a grandmother as well.
Can you just
So
die?
yeah,
And I never was a mother, so I don't have this sense of the time. And there's a lot of things about Smokey I have no trouble remembering, but there's a lot of little things that I have definitely forgotten. Don't know what they are. You start talking to me, and I'll say, "Well, I remember that," or "I don't remember that." "Oh, now I remember it." That kind of thing, because it's been a lot of years.
it's
So I
only
think
been a few, just a
part
few.
of the fun I'm going to have is a lot of these little stories and little things that happened are going to pop up, and I'm just going to eat it up. I'm
We're
just going
so
to eat it
excited
up.
for it. It's definitely going to be a fun time.
A fun
Now,
time, indeed,
absolutely. So
indeed.
did you get to take a ride in the snowman semi or the Trans Am while it was
No,
on
I did
set?
not. I did not. They were using it and filming with it, and the filming itself was tight, as any film schedule will be. It's
Right,
natural,
right,
and that one day it took one day for me to do all my stuff. Wasn't all that much, but and then that was it. It was gosh, I've forgotten. Was it a Thursday or Friday? But anyway, it was before Labor Day weekend, and my
right,
birthday was like the next day. And Hal invited me to stay. He said, "Heck, you got to see your dailies." And that back then there was no videotape. That didn't
right.
exist. And so everything that's filmed would get sent back to Universal, to Technicolor. It's not that Universal owned Technicolor, but they were right next door to each other. So and there was an editor in California and an editor with Hal for the movie. And so anything that was shot would be sent back, flown back to California, processed, spliced together, which the editor out here would do, and then sent back to be seen by the editor sitting with Hal.
Right.
And Hal to see it. So he said, you got to be able to see your dailies, and that's going to take 3 days at least. So I ended up being a guest of the movie for many extra days. It was a gift that I had no idea was coming. It was a gift that was so special, very fun. I got to meet and get to know so many people. And there was a little bit of shooting that went on while I was there. I went to a set one day when there was some stunt shooting, and I was on the set with Jackie Gleason, Sean. I was there. I didn't watch him do any work, but he was the first one on the set every day, whether he was working or not, as long as it was within his schedule of shooting, of filming. And he was the last one with Hal to leave at night. He absolutely adored being on set and being with the people and meeting the people. That was kind of a surprise to me. I certainly knew what a talent he was.
Yeah.
Great musician.
Right.
And obviously a huge success. And to see him there and being social, but also being very engaged was a treat, a real treat. I have never seen that since with anybody. I've felt the enthusiasm, certainly have been around people that are very supportive. That's not lacking, but nothing like the way he was.
Wow. I did not know that part.
Sean, it was part of the times, and it was the way Hal was. Hal was so generous and open, as was Bert, with everybody at all times, and shared and included. And I think that might have been part of what inspired Jackie. I know that Hal met him at the hotel the night he flew in, which is when I was there, and the two of them drank all night long. Both of them, both of them famous for it, and both of them very healthy, no problems. And who knows how many times after that, or whenever, or whatever, because I wasn't there that long. I can relate some stories from what I've heard from people, but I personally was not there for the rest of the shooting. I arrived on the third day of filming. They'd only done 3 days before me. And all the dailies were flown in that day that I came in. Probably was on the plane with me for all I know. and Hal Needham, the director, the creator of Smokey and the Bandit, opened up the bar and opened up this little room down in the hotel every single day of their dailies for everybody to come in and watch them.
Oh, wow.
This is not a known thing in Hollywood.
No.
That directors let the whole cast and the crew come in and watch
putting the can, and you don't get to see those. And
it was, and now I do know that went on for the whole shoot of the movie, not just the few days I was there.
Right.
So that was a treat for everybody, and that makes everybody even more compadre, more as the team and the family. There was so much trust and so much, and then the funny stories come because everybody's so darn acquainted. Oh my gosh, having a good time. Everybody was having such a good time, and nobody knew then that it was going to be a blockbuster movie. Nobody knew. How could you know? You're filming a movie, you're doing the best you can do, and you happen to be having a wonderful time with a hysterical script and some pretty amazing people on set every day.
Oh yeah.
You got Bert, you got Hal, you got Jerry Reed, Jackie Gleason, Mike Henry, who played his son, and the script being so funny. And then all the little other things, whoever. And the stuntmen are very jovial and very cohesive as a group, always when they're working on a film and when they're not. It's the most supportive group of people. And I was very drawn to that. From the minute I met Hal, I met a few guys before him and they introduced me to Hal. And I'm just an actor working on a film or extra in a movie or visiting the set.
Right.
And drawn and talking and sharing. And out of that came some pretty neat friendships, including the one with Hal. So I'm bragging. I'm lucky.
Oh, yeah.
It's beyond luck, but it's lucky.
Yeah. And you not only just Smokey and the Bandit, Hooper, Cannonball Run, you were involved with Stunts Unlimited as well as a assistant director.
Well, is that the part that I was in that little TV movie? Was an assistant director? Honest to gosh, Sean, thank you. The script I had was gone. I was burglarized, and all the scripts of all the movies I've ever worked in or plays that I've done, the scripts are all gone. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah,
Where
I
did you
mean,
get that? You did some research.
I found that, I believe, on IMDb.
Okay, well, that's
Internet
pretty
Movie
easy. I never thought of looking there.
Yeah, and it
Because, you know,
has you
that comes
listed
from,
as for Stunts Unlimited
it was the
assistant
name of
director,
the show. That's an organization that Hal formed
right?
for stunt people. And then he created this story, probably the story of how he created it. I totally have forgotten, as a TV movie, but they did TV movies back in those days in the mid 70s to the 80s. There were 2-hour TV movies on a regular basis.
Right,
You don't
right.
see those anymore. So I think
No,
Stunts Unlimited was a 2-hour movie.
right.
And that's so I played an assistant director.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Uh, Stephen asked, did you film any scenes with Jerry Reed, or were they only with Bert and the kids for your
Only
scene?
with Bert, and the kids were just there. I never was on camera with any of the kids. They were supposedly around me, and I yelled, "Well, when do you kids get this damn mutt out of here?" Like they're here in the room, and the dog. I'm tripping over the dog, but I wasn't ever on camera with any of them. Silas jumped onto Bert's shoulders, and he was
Right,
playing, and Bert was talking to me. So that means we're in the scene together, but we're not on camera together.
right,
That
right.
means we're not filmed as same time. And that's it. I never did film anything with Jerry. You think
So,
you see me later in the film, because he talks to me on the phone
right?
and he makes reference to me, and I've heard that all these years, how people think they've seen me and they know me in the movie. And I played a bigger part than I thought I did. That's kind of fun.
It is,
For
it
an
is.
ego, it's very much fun. Excuse me. Yeah.
So, just thinking back, I mean, you touched on it for 49 years ago since filming, and we're
Yes.
approaching 50 years that this movie has been out.
And
Did
it's
you
been a
think that
blockbuster.
anything that it would grow into such a cultural phenomenon as it has?
Who could possibly have known?
Yeah,
Who could possibly have known? I think Hal was even a little surprised how much money it ended up making.
right,
He had no idea. He and Bert got in that thing selling their contract. That's the wrong word. They gave up their earnings in order to own a piece of the film. So whatever came of the film, they'd get some residuals from that, but not
right.
from a director, not for a director or an actor. They gave all that up. And and I think Hal was always very proud that he became very wealthy because of that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He had worked so hard in the industry, and a
He did.
paycheck here and a paycheck there, but it's
And
not wealth. It's not wealth
then
like he got
to
from Smokey.
Right, and then just to sit down and write the movie the way he did, from seeing the maid steal the Coors beer and
Yeah.
inspiring the movie.
Did you
So
get? He wrote that in his book. But enough about me, right? Is that how you
uh,
know that?
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, very cool.
Great Bert. He was a great storyteller. Sean,
He was
a great storyteller. Just like you'd expect him to be. If you had never met him or never even read anything, but you saw him in his films, you could just tell. He twinkled. I mean, not that his acting was interrupted by any twinkles, but you just
right.
know that he loved what he was doing. And if you ever saw him in interviews, that's what he'd talk about.
That's right.
And some
That
of the
is
stories that he
absolutely
told might not even be completely true, and we'll never know.
right.
So, I don't know what we do with that. Do we pass them on as this really happened? I
Yeah,
know
that's
because
what it was. I know it
I
was.
heard Bert say it.
I was there. No.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
If your character had a "Where Are They Now" storyline, what would you
oh,
like to
please.
imagine
Oh,
for
Sean,
her?
this is mean. This is a trick question. I don't have that
No,
much.
no,
I'm
this is
not a
more
writer.
of the characters. Just to say that it was to have another installment So where would the storyline be, and where
Oh,
would
darn it.
when
Now you've stopped me. I don't know. I'm not the creator. I'm not I don't tell stories. I just act them out. Um, who knows? Well, I think if you saw Smokey 2 and Smokey 3, neither of which I was involved with, they
right?
got divorced.
So
Snowman
right,
and Waynette got divorced.
right.
I
That was
guess
probably because
it kind
he
of
took off
is
on
that
that
in
next
this
run.
is that in the storyline of those movies that where was Waynette?
Yeah, so that would have been in the third movie. Yeah.
And that wasn't Hal had nothing to do with that. Well, I don't know. Honest to God, Sean, you caught me off guard. So, but of course, she's a mom and a grandmom, so she was always with her kids, and I'm sure she stayed in the town they lived in.
Yeah, they're in Jonesboro, Georgia.
And who knows if she ever got married again? I bet she and Snowman good friends,
Good friends. I could see
good
that.
friends, and raised the kids together and had a
Right.
lot of fun with all of the friends. I don't think there was rancor or any of that.
Right.
Just probably back in those days when they were writing 2 and 3, people just divorced. I don't know what went on in those
And just
days.
went on and continued on, and
Yeah, yeah.
so
That's
you.
an interesting. But I ain't gonna sleep tonight, honey, because
Oh
you got me
no, I
going.
am
What
so
happened? What
sorry.
happened to Waynette Snow and Snowman? Oh dear, how
They stayed in
sad.
touch. They stayed in touch. That's the way we'll look
Yes,
at it.
yes. We'll leave it that. Best as friends, as good friends, because they had so many good friends together,
And they
and the
had,
kids.
and all the kids,
And
yes.
all those, I don't know how many there were. I've lost track.
Well, as Bert said, starting a new race. So
Okay.
football,
Okay, that's
football.
funny. Oh, what other weird questions do you have in that? What
Oh,
line it
we
is?
we will probably get over those.
Well,
You
I'm going to meet
appeared
you
in.
at this wonderful event that's coming up.
Yeah, that's coming up the 17th through the 19th. So the opening night at the Terra Theater kicks off with Smokey and the Bandit revisited at the Terra Theater, Red
That means
Carpet
that
Walk,
come and
and
see
you're
the
going to be
movie.
there.
You
Yeah,
can get in and see the movie at the theater that it was originally premiered at. That would
right.
be 40, how many years ago? 48 years ago,
Yeah,
give or take, whatever. It came out in 77. And this
yeah.
is
May of '77,
what the heck year is this? That's another trick question.
25.
2025.
Just for those that are tuning in, it's 2025 now.
Okay, thank you. Got to get these trick questions lined up just right.
That's right.
So it's the same theater, the Tara Theater in Atlanta. Is it in Atlanta? Where's the theater
It
located?
is. It is in Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta. Okay, sorry, I didn't know for sure. When I come back there as a guest of all you guys, you good old boys from the
That's
South,
right.
I'm just going to be escorted around and go where the happenings are going and have a great time. I get
That's
to
right.
sign autographs, which will be a kick in the rear, and meet other people that had little parts on the movie. And who
Yeah,
knows who all is going to be there?
right.
I admit it's still not a complete list that you know.
We do have some stunt people coming in that have been
Oh, great.
associated all the way through. We've got
Janet
people that
Brady's
work
coming.
with Stunts Unlimited, and that's the big one right there
I
that
know.
so many people have been asking about because they've heard the rumor mill
Well,
that Miss
Janet
Janet
and I
Brady
became
is
very,
coming.
very fast friends on Smokey, and we've been best friends ever since.
That
So
is
this
amazing.
is really special for me that she's
And
coming. We're going to be two funny gals.
yeah, we can't wait. We're very excited. Tickets for that, we'll throw a link up here so people can check out and how they can be involved and come watch the movie.
Okay. And there's
We
going to be stories told and taking a cruise with Trans Ams to some of the locations of the movie.
yeah,
Is that right?
that's
And
right.
eating, you can go to the restaurant or it's not the same restaurant. It was rebuilt or
It's the same family that owned it, the old Hickory
okay.
House. So we'll be heading there Friday as well.
And that's where the Jackie
Diablo
Gleason
Snapping.
and Jackie Gleason went in to eat, and we have to say the character Buford T. Justice came in to eat, and the bandit came in and sitting next to him, and Buford didn't know he was sitting next to the bandit who he was chasing and trying to catch. The two of them together, a very funny scene.
Oh yeah,
Very funny scene.
it was a classic.
So
The
we're going to go to that restaurant, or at least one that's still owned by the same people. It's a remake of the restaurant,
yeah,
redo of it.
all of them were set up basically the same, and that one is it's identical. It is the last Old Hickory house in the United States.
No kidding.
It is, yeah. So
Oh,
a few years ago, Tim Phillips, who plays the bandit for Eastbound and Down, and I made an appearance there as Sheriff Buford T. Justice and the bandit, and we got to do that in one take from start to finish, and that's including chowing down that Diablo sandwich that is
Diablo sandwich.
amazingly spicy.
And were you able to down it okay?
Oh, I did, and I did it just like Jackie did, and
Excellent. Excellent.
and we're looking forward to going back there. Tim says he can't wait to see you. It's still hard listening to you with all those things in your hair. Makes me think you're listening to a radio station in Savannah.
He said, with all the curlers in your hair, it's like you're tuning in to Savannah. What didn't he say?
Yeah.
Savannah. I don't know. Pretty clever all the way through that movie. Such clever dialogue. I mean, if you laughed, you'd miss the next funny line.
Yeah. It's going to be an absolute fun time there in Georgia. And
you know what I'm looking forward to is just plain out seeing the movie again.
Yes.
It's been so long.
We have two versions of the movie that'll be playing. We have the original 35 millimeter film.
Yeah.
That'll be shown, and we'll also have the retouched modern film version.
Oh.
In the original 35 millimeter,
so the two screenings are kind of different.
Yes.
I didn't know. This is exciting. Okay.
So it's
continue.
definitely
What were you saying?
So you've also appeared in Hooper, Cannonball Run. How did those roles compare to the Smokey and the Bandit experience?
Nothing. In Smokey, I was treated like a princess. I got a chair with my name on it, and I was met at the airport and by I can't remember who, but I got what's the word when you hear your name over the loudspeaker, and I had to go to a phone and pick it up, and heard that so and so was meeting me somewhere and escorting me to the hotel. Hal is waiting to see me. So it was really a lot of what Hal created for me. He really made me feel special. And again, inviting me to stay those extra days and showing me my dailies. And there was more after the film was finished. It didn't just, for me, being treated. The other movies, he was so generous. He gave me parts and he directed me, and it was wonderful, but it was nothing like the event for me of being in Smokey and filming those few days, that one day, and being aboard for those extra days. Couldn't compare. The Cannonball Run was a one-liner. Hooper was, I was on the set, and it was an involved thing because I was playing a member of the crew, the filming crew.
Right.
And I did get to be there a lot, but it didn't have the same feeling. It was nothing to me. It was as important and it was as exciting. Everybody supporting Hal, and it was a good story, but it wasn't the Smokey funny.
Right.
It wasn't the Smokey funny. And that's really all I can say in general for me. Now you could talk to the next guy, because there were some really good actors in that movie, and their experience might have been quite different from mine, where it was up and jovial every time they were on the set. To me, I got the feeling this is a lot of work. I mean, when I got to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, they filmed the scene in the movie where, as the stuntman Jan Michael Vincent playing whomever, can't remember the character's name is what I'm saying. I guess Hooper, I don't know, driving through the town as it's being blown up. You know, it's a stunt gig. They're doing a stunt gig.
Right.
And they're playing something in a movie, and that took days, or maybe not days. Maybe it was. I know there was a lot of things that went off, and Hal had a lot of cameras rolling at the same time. Didn't take days. I think it was all in one continuous long line of shots, one happening right after the other. That alone, momentous, very serious, very exciting. Didn't have the intimacy that Smokey had of
Right.
when we're working.
Right.
A whole different thing.
It is. It is.
Does that make sense? That I make myself
Oh, yeah.
kind of clear about that?
Absolutely.
And
Because
then
I
it was
mean,
relationships of different people involved as the
right.
stuntman and his people.
Even though you had Bert and Sally involved with it as well, and it
Yes.
goes from them meeting, for the basically the first time on camera interactions, and
Are you talking about Smokey now or Hooper?
yeah, going from Smokey and the Bandit, where that was
Where
their
they,
first
yes,
working together,
working
and
together.
then
They
all it
met working. The first day of filming was one of their intimate scene, their love scene.
Right.
And they had gotten acquainted with each other, but I think that's when Bert and Sally fell in love on film,
Right.
filming that. It wasn't early in the movie, but they filmed it the first couple days.
Right.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool. And
Kind of
then,
nice story.
yeah, you can kind of see that carry through,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so that's just very awesome. One of
Yeah.
the behind the scenes stories that you could tell from any of the movies that just really jumps out, as in from Cannonball Run or Hooper. We've touched on Smokey and the Bandit. Is there something from one of those two as well?
That jumped out at me.
Yeah, just something that just really hangs
Well,
with you.
Sean, I haven't seen the movies in so long.
Yeah.
I don't think I can help you with that. If you'd show those movies too while we're there.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
I'm sorry. I can't, I mean, I'm not surprised when you get on in life, and it's been a lot of years. One thing that's happened to me is I've got this wonderful sentimental memory.
Right.
I am proud of it. It's served me my whole life. I'm proud to say, except that it now just goes off on its own and doesn't take me with it. This
Right.
sentimental memory that I've got. And it comes back and it's like, why the hell didn't you take me along? I have forgotten things. And to be honest with you, I mean, that's it. I can tell you I need to see the movies. I'm sorry, I'm ruining your interview here.
No, you're not. No, absolutely not.
These are good questions. These are good questions.
A lot of actors and actresses don't watch their own movies.
No kid. Well, yeah, I know that. I've heard
Yeah.
stories. I don't know
A
any
lot of
personally.
the modern actors, even those who, for instance, I was in radio for nearly 30 years, and
Oh,
I would not listen to the air check tapes. I could not
you
listen
couldn't.
to myself. It was like,
Even as a young
yes.
man, you couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
I
for
just
heaven's sake.
could not listen to it. Now the podcast, we just recently started these to give an insight on Smokey and the Bandit and everything Trans Am's, and just kind of help keep everything going. And I'll sit back and I'll watch part of the podcast and just pick up on different things. But it's from even an actor's side of it, looking at it, it can be difficult to watch because should have had a different camera angle, should have
Oh
done.
gosh, you can get so into that nitty gritty
Yeah.
things. Make
Right.
yourself crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had any trouble doing that. I lucky me. I just don't remember the movies. You're asking, is there anything that jumped out at me? I mean,
Right.
I always loved the stunts. The stunts in Hooper were incredible.
They were.
And the
They
running, all
absolutely were.
the cars running, and all the funny. I mean, Dean Martin in Cannonball Run,
Right.
and who's the guy who played in it with him?
Sammy Davis Jr.
Well, Sammy Davis Jr. Who was the main character? The character guy who's such good friends with Hal and Bert. I'm so sorry. It's such a well-known name.
Oh.
The paunchy guy.
Dom DeLuise.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dom DeLuise. So funny. so funny in that movie. And again, he got together with whomever he was with on screen. It was so great. So I guess that stuck out. That's what I do remember. And I know that Hal had a good time with all that. Nobody has more fun than Hal.
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah. I
You know,
can, I definitely, I believe that.
how could these
So,
movies have been so fun and so successful without that behind it? Couldn't
right.
have been.
How was
Right.
Dom DeLuise on set?
Oh, just exactly like you want him to be. Funny, flip off the cuff stuff all the time, laughing at himself, and a very sensitive man. Not a quiet man, but a very sensitive man. He struck me as one of the comedians who wasn't being up and funny all the time to cover or to
Right.
hide something that he might have been insecure about, as
Right.
can happen with actors.
Right. Absolutely.
No, he was as genuine as can be.
Wow.
Absolutely. And fun to be with because of that, not just because of the fun stories, but because he was the real thing. He was as authentic as you could get. And
Stephen,
I'll just go back to Hal and Bert's values. To them that's golden. That's the
oh
way
yeah.
they were.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you surround yourself by those that are in the like, that are similar. So that's always
Yeah.
good. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Steven
absolutely.
said that Dom cooked for everybody.
Oh, I
Did,
didn't know that.
okay, I was going to say, did Dom do a lot of cooking on Cannonball?
I have no idea.
All
I
right.
did. I wasn't on the shoot, and came into Las Vegas one day for my part, and then left.
Oh wow, very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. It wasn't like Smokey. I wasn't playing a significant part, and times were different. And he had a lot of pretty. I wouldn't call them pressures, but I would say some pretty important people around him,
Right.
and a lot of them all at one time. But he handled it. Oh my gosh, with his crew and him. Ah.
And my understanding with Dom is he come up with the superhero character while on set.
That I yes, okay, got it. Yep. No surprise
Absolutely,
there.
huh?
Oh, I did meet him, but I don't recall. And I remember going out to dinner with a few people with him and laughing the whole time.
Oh, I bet.
How did I do that? How did I know? How did I know? How did see? I got stories to tell that I didn't even know I had. I
If
don't
you
know how I met Dom DeLuise and ended up going to dinner with a bunch of the guys, the stunt guys. Oh well, I'll have to
just
make that one up.
hanging around set, I'm
Hanging
sure.
around the set. You fill in for me. You
All right,
fill in for me, Sean. You're the radio man. You
there
tell the
we go.
story.
If you could take a cross-country road trip in any car from any of the movies that you've been in, which would it be?
I don't know. I've never been in movies with cars except Smokey and the Bandit.
Well, Cannonball Run had the cars.
Yeah,
It
but
had
I
a lot of
wasn't really I wasn't really connected to that movie. Don't you see? It was
okay,
just a one line that I said.
right.
Um,
So,
I don't even remember the cars in that movie. Remind me, what was in Cannonball Run? What were the cars?
well, they had a Trans Am, but that's been done before. Um,
Well, I might as well say the Trans Am, but I don't
well, we're going
remember
to
the
make
car.
sure that you get a ride in a Smokey and the Bandit type Trans Am.
It's already
And
set. It's set in writing in blood. It's
yes,
already happening. I'm getting picked up at the
it's happening.
airport by Bo, and I'm
There
driving
you
with him in his Trans Am.
go.
Have you
Who?
talked about what Bo is doing? What he has done, that Trans Am that he owns, he
Oh yeah,
completely did it
yeah,
himself, and it's an exact replica of the one in the movie.
yeah.
Okay,
There's
that's not
there's
news to
I
your
mean,
audience.
oh yeah, absolutely. Bo with band1.net is a huge part of just everything that we've done. Even, when I had decided that it was time to add a chop top Buford car
Yeah.
to the fleet of eastbound and down cars, Jason Bobbitt and I, along with Bo, we looked over a lot of the behind the scenes photos and
Oh,
to
good.
figure out the exact spot of the cut, because you really only get one cut when you do this, one take
Yeah. Yeah.
to
I
take a
know.
roof off a car and a quarter panel and remove the door and all of that
Yep.
fun
You
stuff.
can't you
So
can't just, okay, let's go back and do that one
yeah,
again. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's that same thing, that having access to all of the behind the scenes photos and being able to watch the movie even in high definition or in the 35 millimeter, you see a lot of things that you don't normally see.
Oh, I'm so
And
glad. This is going to be so
there,
exciting.
Bo has done his research, and Jason Bobbitt and myself doing the chop top and making it as screen accurate as possible. And Tim Phillips, Tim is our bandit, and he's got a Trans Am as well.
Oh,
So
cool.
Gene Moberly plays our Georgia Trooper, and he's got a Trans Am. So all of us, we in Eastbound and Down, every one of us own a Trans Am. So one way or another, you're going to get some rides in a Trans Am.
Yeah, me and others too. Well, I do have a story I'd like to share. Do we have
All
an
right.
extra minute?
Yeah, absolutely.
There is something else in my life that's pretty special. When I went to UCLA as a theater major, and at my freshman year, my first year at that college, I wanted to be in the marching band because I play instruments and I wanted to be in the marching band. And I go to the music department and I talk to the leaders of the bands, and they say, we don't have any women in the marching band, and we're not allowing any women in the marching band because just 20 years prior to that was the end of World War II. Because I'm
Oh,
talking
wow.
about 1965, go back 20 years, where they had only women in the band. So they're making up for some lost time. And they were very adamant about it. So I was disappointed, but you go on with life. And I was in a sorority and having a blast being a freshman, and all the activities, went to all the football games. We were the champions, UCLA that year, 1966 or 65, 66. We played in the Rose Bowl on January 1st. I'm sitting in the stands at the Rose Bowl. UCLA is playing Michigan, and the marching band was fabulous. And I'm looking down on the field. I remember how this felt and how it came to my head. We need a second mascot. We've got Joe Bruin. We need Josephine Bruin. And thus began the life of Josephine Bruin, who now, 60 years later, is one of the mascots for UCLA.
Wow.
And I created her. I played her for 3 years, and I had to get approval on campus. You don't just come up with an idea. You know how you have to promote.
Right.
And
Right.
one of the people that I went to was the I can't think of his name, John Wooden, the basketball coach, the famous basketball coach, 7
Yeah.
national championship basketball
Right.
team. And he loved the idea, but he was the last one I talked to. I talked to all the coaches and the head of the athletic department, the president of the university, so on and so forth. Everybody loved the idea. Then I just raised the money to get the costume made at Western Costumes, and I helped raise the money to get that done. And thus began, as I say, thus began Josephine Bruin Bear at UCLA.
Wow.
Come ahead to last year when UCLA won the, was it the National Basketball Championship again?
Right.
Whatever. Maybe they didn't. But during what they call the crazy months of college basketball, there was an ad on TV that was advertising a car, and in this ad played Eastbound and Down while the car was on the road.
Right.
Some company, and right at the end of the commercial, there's a lineup of 3 mascots, and one of them was Josephine Bruin.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
How
There
amazing
was
is that?
Smokey and the Bandit, and my life at UCLA. Then it was 58 years before, and I said, "This is Hal watching over me." Is that a wonderful little story?
That is.
I
That is
love
just
that song,
amazing.
Eastbound and
Love it.
Down.
I
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely love it. How cool
So
is that?
I wish I could have made the story shorter, but that's the way I am.
No. Take as much time as you like. I mean, we've got all night, and
Oh, please,
yeah,
come on! We got to keep the audience tuned in.
that's
Well,
right. Oh, they're here, and they are absolutely loving every bit of this.
well,
I tell you
they
what we're
better.
going to do. We're going to
Okay,
take a
what?
quick break, and
Okay.
we're going to play your famous clip from Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, cool.
And we will be back in about 35 seconds. How's that?
I'm ready.
All right.
I won't sing along, I promise.
Hello. How about gorgeous?
You can't have him.
Well, obviously you can. What are you trying to do? Start another race?
Hey, look, Bandit, look. You gotta clean us to jail one. He's awesome. He ain't your damn uncle.
Always recognize
What are you
little
damn
devil.
kids?
You know
Get
what?
this mud out of here.
You're right in the ball.
Damn it, Bandit, look at me.
I find it hard to look at you, Wynette. Very hard, especially when you've got those things in your hair. Makes me think you're listening to a radio station in Savannah.
You can't go in there and bother Cletus. Hey, this is my home.
There we are.
Okay.
That is fantastic. We just absolutely love that. And a lot of the comments tonight have been they would love to hear you say one of those lines.
Oh,
But
gosh.
I'm not going to put you on the spot for it. But that could be something that we save for Georgia.
We could.
And,
Whatever works for you.
But if you would like to,
But I need to
under no
practice my
pressure.
accent, John. I need to practice my accent. And if I'm not careful, I'll slip into my German accent. You know, we gotta stay focused here.
That's right. Absolutely. This has been great. We do have a question. If you could cameo in any movie today, what would it be?
The movies that are out today,
Yeah.
nowadays.
Out of a movie that's been out in the past, I believe they're asking about the past 10 years.
Oh,
Is
my
there
heart.
anything that just jumps out, or a TV show even?
My memory is my sense of that is not real clear. I have no idea. I don't think
Yeah.
about things like that as an actress all these years. What
Right.
movie
I
would I
mean,
like to be in?
that would be a tough one because I
Well,
really would
I'll
know
think
where
about
you're
it and get back to you when I'm in Georgia. That's a fun question.
There we go.
I mean, there's
We
some
can-
actors I would love to work with. That's a given.
Who would
I
that
love
be?
the old timers, but not necessarily all of them. Honest to God, I can't. Now I'm embarrassed.
No, don't be.
I can't think of anything.
No, this is absolutely great. Another person is asking, who is more fun to be around on set, Burt Reynolds, Jackie Gleason, or Dom DeLuise?
I'd say Dom. But I
Just for
could
that
be
high
Bert.
energy.
I was on the set more with Bert. I was never on set with Dom. I just watched him on set. Okay, now that I think about it, I think Bert.
Yeah, okay.
Very glib,
There's-
very warm, very connected. And that made him, and also very good looking, and played off people very, very easily. And you know what playing off somebody is? When somebody says something and this isn't in a script, this is just off camera.
Right.
And you're bouncing off of them. He was real good at that. Call it improv for no other better way of saying it.
Yeah,
And Bert
absolutely.
was so much fun. And he made everybody that he ever talked to feel important to him. And he was as genuine. This was not play acting. This is the genuine man that he was.
Oh, absolutely.
And
You know-
sometimes it would be funny depending on the person he's with. It could be humorous or it could be very just pleasant and fun to be with and easy
Right.
to be with. He made friends every day.
The 40th anniversary of Smokey and the Bandit
Yeah.
took place there in Jonesboro and Atlanta at the
Oh.
Atlanta Motor Speedway. And my wife and I, we were there, and we waited in line to step up and take a photo with Bert. And it was just a very warm and caring experience, if you will.
Yeah.
Then we turn around a few months later and we bring the Trans Am and the Buford car to Valdosta, Georgia. Bert was doing a week-long film festival.
Oh, cool.
It was 2018, and they presented him the key to the city. And we got to hear so many stories from Bert. Just
He is a great storyteller.
oh yeah,
Nobody
during
like
the
him.
downtime, he opened up and welcomed you to being there, and it was even the one-on-one. You know, it was just an amazing time.
That's the way he moved. That was the way he operated. Yes, sir. And
Rob,
he was a happy guy.
oh yeah, he definitely was. That every time that we've seen him for that full week and putting in 12 to 14 hours to sit there and talk and watch movies, and
Yeah.
he was there.
Very
It was
cool.
just an amazing experience.
Very cool. I'm
Rob
glad to hear that.
Rob asked, how was Jerry Reed to work with, and did you meet Sally Field?
Yes and yes. How was Jerry? Jerry was great to work with. Jerry was funny. Jerry was, you could tease him to the max and he could tease back, but you could really tease him. And good storyteller also. I mean, he and Bert were alike that way. Two guys that could really tell the funny stories together.
Right.
And to work with, I never worked with him, but I sure did get to know him. And it was fun to get to know him. He's a musician as well as a comic actor, and he even was a director. So he was all around pretty special, pretty darn special.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Um,
And did I meet Sally Field? Yes, of course I met her. I had scenes with her, or a scene with her in Hooper. And did I meet her on Smokey? No, because she and Bert had fallen in love and they were off being in love. I never watched Bert work again after the day I worked with him. It was stunt scenes that I was there for. And then, I had to finally go home. I couldn't stay
right.
the whole length of the movie. um, and that's it. I never saw him work on Smokey again. Of course, I did on the other two movies, Hooper and Cannonball Run. No, he was not working the day I was working. So I don't think was Sally in Cannonball Run. Sally wasn't in Cannonball Run,
She was in Hooper, not
but she
Cannonball.
was in Hooper.
Right.
I I didn't. I don't remember, other than having that scene with her. I don't remember that we ever talked much.
Right.
I don't. I just don't remember.
It
But
was,
my friend sat Janet Brady, who is my friend. She always doubled Sally. So I would hear about Sally a lot for years because every movie that she needed to be doubled on, Janet would be there.
oh,
And
that's
Janet being
great.
my good friend, I'd hear stuff, not gossip, but just, so if
Right.
I think about it, I feel like I've seen her more than I have. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Well,
Yeah.
you get the dailies then.
Yeah, exactly. So those are good questions. I love Jerry Reed. He is a very special man,
Yeah.
a family man, a musician, joyful. Nice memories. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're gonna wrap this up with one word to describe the entire Smokey and the Bandit experience. What one word would you put with that?
Well, I've kind of used it a lot already in my chatting with you. I would say special,
Yeah.
just really special, very
Just really,
personal, and yet in the big picture of things, pretty special.
right.
Everybody had stories to tell. Everybody had a good time. It meant a lot. It made money for people. It was nothing like being in a blockbuster movie. And you've had a good time and many stories that you've shared with people. And yet later on, as the movie continues to be a blockbuster, it's still there with you.
Right.
That's a
Right.
pretty darn good story.
It is. And I mean, you look at Smokey and the Bandit and just look at the first one,
Yeah.
as amazing as a of a movie that it is still today, nearing the 50 years, that you look at the other movie that was the top movie from 77, which was Star Wars. You really can't put those together to say this was the number one movie versus this one continuing today, because Smokey and the Bandit was just special for its first movie.
And
And
it
if you didn't
stands alone.
have,
It
yeah,
stands
just
alone.
as a standalone, and that's without having, the continuation of the Star Wars movies to help
Yeah.
regenerate that.
Yeah.
So Smokey was,
That's a good comparison. I like
yeah,
that.
it's just, you
Yeah.
put together an all-star cast, which you were a part of. It's just made so many memories for
For
people.
so many people. I love it when I start hearing the stories when I come back to Georgia next week. in a week plus, I'm
Yeah.
going to hear from people talking to me, and they're going to tell me their experience of the movie, what their opinion is, what they remember,
Right.
whether there was just an audience person or another character, another person on set. It's going to be fun to share.
It is. It is. And it's something that I tell this not just at our events and on the podcast here. When Eastbound and Down goes out and does the shows that we do
Yeah.
coast to coast, we're going into Canada next year for a couple shows.
Oh, cool.
And when we're out, we have so many people that come to us and say, because of Smokey and the Bandit, I become a police officer. Because of
Oh,
Smokey and the Bandit, I
oh,
become a truck driver.
oh,
I
how
become,
cool.
got into music because of Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh,
And
my gosh.
just the stories continue. And then
Oh,
we have the other side of it that so
the
many
Trans
people,
Am people. Oh, my
yeah,
gosh.
right. And we'll have others that come up and say, my dad, my grandfather, they this was the movie that we sat nightly and watched, or on the weekends and watched. And we had a 6-year-old child come up to us after an event. His father got a hold of us, and they were driving many hours to come see us, and they didn't make it in that window. And we told them which hotel we were at. They come by,
Oh,
and the boy is dressed as the snowman. 6
oh,
years old, dressed as the snowman,
oh,
had a stuffed Fred with him, and his favorite song is Eastbound and Down. Absolutely loves the movie, and it's just that thing of
through the
when we
generations,
walked
it
in the
continues.
room, and he just lit up. He just absolutely loved it.
I
That's
love
the thing for
I love
us. Um, it just, to keep those memories alive, we try to do everything that we can and continue the stories that make dreams happen.
Good on you. What a good thing you're doing. This is
We
great.
we have a great time,
I'm
but
loving it. Thank you for
we are
sharing with
looking
me. I
forward
get
to
to be a
having
part of
you.
it for a couple of days.
You're gonna have, yeah, you're gonna be right there in the middle of it. Coming up October 17th through the 19th in Jonesboro, Georgia. We're gonna kick it off at the Terra Theater in Atlanta. TransAmTakeover.com for more information. And Linda, it has been a pleasure having you on the show tonight.
Me with you
And
too.
we look forward to just being able to sit down and chat in person. This is going to
In
be amazing.
person. In
It's going to be a fun time.
person. And with all the other people that are interested in whatever we want to share in person, we'll have people around us that are going to
That's
be able
right.
to take it in.
There's going
Okay,
to be
good.
so
And
many
I can't
special
wait to
guests.
see you all dressed up as Buford T. Justice.
Well, he's going to be there, and I understand he's going to have both his cars there, because you never
I
know
love
what's
it.
going to happen.
You never
What
know
is
what
in
else.
pursuit of that maniac?
Ooh, listen to you. I can't
There
wait
we
to
go.
see the truck too.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
I'm gonna be crying with the memories, Sean. Give me a break.
We may as well. It's going to be
I'm
so
so
much for us to take
sentimental.
in.
Oh,
Well, Linda,
well,
again, thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in
my
a week and a
pleasure.
half. All right.
And take good care and see you in Georgia.
There we are. We will see you in
This
Georgia.
car forward. Black Trans Am. It's the Bandit.
We've been talking Smokey and the Bandit, Trans Ams, and keeping the memories alive. Till next time, keep the pedal to the metal and the shiny side up, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Eastbound and down.
Eastbound and down.